Let's talk to Craig in North Wales, who voted Leave but now supports Remain. Hello, Craig.
Hello.
Why did you change your mind?
Well, it was with just more information and more understanding of what was going on. Obviously, there was a huge amount of lies at the start of this whole process. And you listen to the ones that affect you. So I work in the NHS. It was all the stuff about the NHS, and it was all the free trade deals that were going to happen. And obviously, as it's gone on, none of that's happening. So it just feels like we were promised all these different things that we were going to be able to get. And because they're no longer available, because they're not possible, and because the deal that people are coming up with just seem to mimic what we already have, it just feels like there is no point in leaving anymore. We might as well stay and work within the system.
It's interesting you say that, Craig, because so many people say that regardless of what information was around them at the start, they knew that they wanted to leave. They, just to get out, to be not part of the institutions, to be separate from the EU. But you do feel that what you voted for is not what we're looking at now.
Well, I think we're this far down the process, and still nobody knows what we voted for, because still nobody knows what it's going to look like when we're finished. So almost 3 years ago when we were voting for it, and people were saying it'll be this, and we'll have the trade deals, and money will be returned to the UK, and we'll all be better off. And it turns out actually we're all going to be worse off. It's just not what people were touting at the time. So I just feel like we were fed all these things that people perhaps believed, but has turned out not to be true. So
yeah. Yeah, I mean, a lot of people say maybe worse off in the short term, but they look towards the future when all of this is solved. Did you think, Craig, when we had the result of the referendum nearly 3 years ago now, back in 2016, that we would be a week from what was the original Brexit date, and we still wouldn't know what it would look like?
No, and I think it's been a huge failing from Theresa May. She hasn't engaged, they're saying that she hasn't engaged with other members in Parliament, but she hasn't engaged with anybody at all. There is a huge problem with this Westminster bubble, that they just exist in that space, and there's no engaging with the people. Nobody knows what's actually going on. And there was there's 5 million people signed a petition, no mention of it, and 1 million people marched at the weekend, and no acknowledgement from it in Parliament apart from Theresa May asking where Corbyn was.
Thank you, Craig, in North Wales.